Hi everyone, welcome to this week Weekly Market Update. So as usual, let's take a look what happening on last week and things to watch out for the coming weeks. But before that, I just want to recap on what I have update you guys in my Facebook page or Telegram group since 2 weeks ago on the 18 May 2025. So there are four counters which I mentioned previously that asking you guys to watch out, which is on my radar. Basically, it's LMT, AMD, Tesla, and United Health. So I'm not sure how many of you has been into Tesla by now. You should be into it because I have been mentioning since the start of 2025. Every dip in Tesla is for you. It's an opportunity for you to buy and hold, to do the dollar cost averaging. By now, you should be in profit if you have been following me since the start of the year. Basically, there's a lot of reason. I don't want to repeat myself. So right now, Tesla has reached some resistance. If let's say you are good in your profit, running 20 to 30% in the money profit, I think it's good to do some scaling out, reduce some position size, or you can take all your profit and re-strategize to go in again. All right, when there is dip coming up. So that's my take for Tesla. And for United Health, a lot of people is paying attention. It's way cheap. It's like a discount right now, but I'm still waiting for a deeper discount before I pick it up. I mean, it's good to pick it up at this spot if you do not own any United Health Group. Of course, ultimately you need to believe in the fundamental of the stock of these stocks. You think the fundamental is still strong, still stable. You may consider to buy. Uh, you know, grab bit by bit. You don't have to one lump sum to buy in at this point of time unless more confirmation and more certainty coming from United Health Group. Alright, so that's what I mentioned previously. If you have not been following, you can check out my Facebook page or Telegram on the image which I've been sharing. Recent details is all written nicely. Why I have picked up this 4 counter and why I have decided to enter at this price is all stated in the screenshot in the photo attached over here. Alright, so let's take a look what's happening on last week. On last week, you can see the S&P is flat to close out a 6% May gain as investors continue to look past trade policy confusions. So mainly to say last week is a good week. Most of the index actually ended in the positive side, but things to watch out for the coming weeks. There's a lot of news, especially from Trump itself last week. Too many news, too many uncertainties. Let's recap individually that you are going to face for the coming week or more for this news, unless more certainty coming up. But we know from Trump as a president, uh, it's hardly to stay certainty for a few times, right, for a few weeks. So we have to keep track what's happening in the market right now. So looking at the charts, this is the Dow Jones chart. All right, on 31st May, I just want to market recap and strategy outlook over here. So this week, there's a wave of event which I mentioned, injected significant uncertainty into the market. So things to watch out. For example, first, Trump mentions on social media that China have violated its current trade agreement with US. So right now, it's waiting for China to fight back, right? To come back. How is this going to end? What it means, we know that US and China has this 90 days pause on the tariff itself, right? And right now, 90 days will end in somewhere August, but we are in the mid of start of the June, and then Trump say and blame China once again. Do you think China will, you know, will be so calm, or will they fight back? We will see for the coming week itself. So that is one of the biggest uncertainty. Next is that we know the Federal Trade Court actually struck down Trump previously reciprocal tariff, right? Trump has this tariff throughout the whole world, but then the Federal Trade Court said that all this does not count. We need to cancel everything. So it's like a drama, you get what I'm trying to say now. And it's a bullish side with these cancellations. It's a bullish side because everything back to normal, right? That is why market tend to have the bullish side. However, Trump found this, or perhaps they know this trade act that started in 1974 was proposed to implement new tariff of up to 15% for 150 days. That means even though the Federal Trade Court can cancel away what Trump previously mentions on the reciprocal tariff, but Trump can use this trade act created in 1974 to tariff the whole country as well. So it's kind of like slightly better because we know that some of the tariffs that coming from Trump is way higher than 50%. This is only up to 50%, but it's still a bad news from the good news itself. All right, or it's a bad good news from the bad news itself. Okay, so it depends how you look at it. But you see, there is so many uncertainty, good thing, bad thing, good thing, bad thing, right? And from the recent economy data, we know that everyone is looking for an interest rate cut. We know that Trump is favor of interest rate cut. But then, from the economy data suggests that it's not the right time to cut because the moment it cut, inflation rate will then shoot up. So the Fed Reserve, Powell have to manage it wisely. So for the coming week, there's a heavy economy data release, and especially that Fed Chair Powell speak on the Monday itself. All right, it will be the rate decisions. Not the decision that whether will they cut, but he will just speak about how he feel on the overall market sentiments. So there's also markets economy data coming in like non-farm payroll, initial jobless claim, this kind of unemployment rate. So to determine whether should Fed cut the rate or not. So it's very crucial. If we cut, market should. If it doesn't cut, market is overheated, then it may come down. So good news, bad news, good news, bad news. If in such situations, it's very confusing. What should you do? We just focus on PA itself. All right, looking at where is our good resistance, support, and then just manage our discipline or the trade setup we'll do. All right, so let's look into the chart itself. For Dow Jones, this is my take right now. I just draw a resistance between 42,500 to 43,000 is the recent high. Okay, right now the price, as you can see on last Friday, even though there's a lot of movement, but it's still stuck within the 200 days moving average on the daily chart. All right, it's well resisted. Can you see for since the May itself, resisted, resisted. All right, it's a very strong resistance. But then on the other hand, if you're looking into Nasdaq, if you're looking into S&P 500, both of them actually break out the 200 days right now. All right, both of them actually break out the 200 days right now. So this is what I stated in 27 April, very long ago. So right now, 27 April is somewhere here, which I mentioned, right? Break above 20,300, which is here 20,300. All right, turn bullish trend. Otherwise, key resistance 20,300. So if you break above, the market continue to go bullish. You see that? This is the 200 days. So for Nasdaq and for S&P broke up, it's just that Dow Jones is still resisted by the 200 days right now. All right, so for that case, to be more downside on the Nasdaq or S&P 500, I will need it to need it to drop below. All right, need it to drop below the 200 days. Then we may consider, the bearish is back again. Otherwise, watch out this 20,300. It can be a resistance, then support. Okay, so pay attention over here, especially for the upcoming news, upcoming economy data. If it drop very fast. All right, if it drop very fast. So looking at the weekly chart for Nasdaq itself, we can see that, if there is a time machine, all right, if you ask yourself or you question yourself, there is a time machine. During the point when you were here, when Trump mentions the reciprocal tariff, right, the market crashes. And I believe at this junction, most of the people will say, if only I have a chance. When the market was down here, you will say that if the market is able to return back to this level, I will stop out all my shares, all my positions, re-strategize. I will quickly get out all my positions. True or not? And yet right now, the market go above, all right, go back where it dropped and go even above where it dropped. But think about it. Nothing happened. Nothing changed in the market. All right, tariff is just being paused. Trump is still going after them. No good news talk between China, which I said so many uncertainty, and the market is so heated. Why will the market is so high? It's not rational at all. But of course, market don't perform rational, right? I mean, so what can we do? We just have to manage where we do trading. Make sure your stop loss is tight if you are looking for the downside. That's why for me, my take, if I want to short or I believe the bear is back, I need it to go below the previous resistance level. That means I need it to go and trade below 20,300 in order to kickstart the resistance level or the bearish trend once again. You get what I'm trying to say? So right now I just simply write, alright, 31st May 2025 have to drop back 2300 to resume the bear trend. Okay, so can you see that? Right, so that's what I'm looking at. Have to drop back 20,300 to resume the bear trend. Okay, so that's my take. Otherwise, it just trending nicely, trending upwards. It can break all-time high previously, but what is the catalyst for it to break higher? So what's the catalyst? Can be the earnings report. So from here you can see, right? I mean, what this Jay mentioned, CEO of Infrastructure Capital. If you are an investor, you want to bet on a good earning, not good tweet about the tariff. So if the coming tariff, if let's say the earnings is good, upcoming earnings continue to maintain strong, it may break through the previous high. Otherwise, if it fall below 20,300 due to the market too uncertainty or tariff once again hit or strike the market, then we may continue the bear trend. Alright. Otherwise, it's very hard right now to trade. Uh, Especially one day up, one day down, right? We never know what's going to be Trump tweet again. Once tweet, you can completely change the whole entire view once again. So just be disciplined if you want to trade with a good type stop loss to protect yourself. Okay, so coming up today, we are just look into one of the counter, which is LLY. LLY. I guess LLY, this is what I mentioned. 31st May today, support 717 coincide with 61.8% Fibonacci level. Okay, so this is the Fibonacci level. You can see 717 is here, this line. Okay, it's 717. Let me just show you. You can see 717. Okay, so this line, why is so important? 61.8% is so important is because it has been supported a couple of times previously back then. As you can see, support, resistance breakout, support, fake breakdown, support. Can you see that? So many times. I mean, we just have to be disciplined, right? We just have to long here. If it break, then we just cut SL. That simple. But right now there's two signs showing. First sign by the Fibo, good support. Second sign, this level has touches a couple of times. Alright, and there's a good news, I believe, on their medicines. Alright, so with this, I don't mind to give a try by doing a long positions with 717 as a support level, or slightly at 700 with my stop loss if I want to. So buyers upside, long positions with SL around 700. Okay, so just be disciplined. If you have to cut, you have to cut. Okay, so that is my take for LLY, Elili. Then next thing you may want to watch out. Just recap my LMT. I actually took some small position here, doing good previously, which I mentioned right on 18 May. Okay, so 18 May is somewhere around here. Okay, somewhere around here. So you pull back, you long by now. Since it's above 18 May, it should be in profit right now. Okay, I'm looking for a good, it's a good bullish setup support by the Saudi arm deal, because previously when I find all this counter is because their CEO fly with Donald Trump to the Middle East to have some conversations, some meetings, right? So I think there's a deal secured on the firearms. So even though it doesn't mention that LMT secured the deal, but I believe somehow they will be benefit from it as well. That's why I give my call on the long side for LMT, and not only on that, on TA perspective, you can see it's a very nice uptrend, well supported. Okay, and that's why I give my call on the upside for LMT. So I took some positions. I'm in profit right now. I'm very happy because I trade on what I planned, and it actually turned out good. Okay, so next, one last thing for today is actually US oil. Do watch out. Yes, oil may be recently low. All right, which I have been always biased on the downside. And one news that you need to take note of is that the latest news is that the OPEC have decided to increase, all right, to increase their supply once again. Okay, let's take a look. I think I mentioned some. I go through, but I can't put a file right now. They're going to increase their. Okay, as you can see, all right. So over here, OPEC oil producers stick to their guns with another big hike for July. All right, I think they're going to increase 411,000 barrel per day for July. It looks like Western back the market shares, punish over producer. So they want to gain back their market shares. They continue to bump even more. That is why supply demand, right? More supply, less demand. We know the economy right now, and that is why I still bias more on the downside. And for the price structure, you can see, used to be a support level, come down. All right, break down support, go up, support turn resistance, used to be support turn resistance, break down, try to go out again and got resisted again. And with the upcoming news, I mean with the news from OPEC itself, going to supply more supply, less demand, economy 101, the price will continue to drop from here. So you don't think that you're actually bottom peak right now. Like right now from the sentimental itself, it seems like the drop has not stopped yet. All right, we can get it cheaper. Okay, so that's all for my this week Willy Market update. I will write nicely in my Facebook page and post some uh, screenshot over there. If let's say you prefer to go through that way, don't want to rewatch the whole 20 minutes of videos, then you can just follow my Telegram or Facebook page as well. Alright, so that's all for this week. Hopefully you guys stay disciplined. Remember, stay disciplined. June will be quite a low volume month, especially people going overseas, right? Holidays from Singapore itself. So it's a low volume, easily get manipulated, easily get pushed up by a few volume itself. So stay disciplined on your stop loss. Okay, so that's all for this week. See you guys next week. Bye bye.